show you how I work on getting a left pivot, and then the next step to add in a dowel, and then also working on going around me to the right. Peachy, ready? Pause up. Good. So she obviously already knows this skill, but I'm going to show you kind of how I do a little warm up with this, going to the left and then to the right, and then I'll show you how I add in a dowel, which will be my transition piece from being on the pivot disc to on the ground, on the flat. So clicker for her, and then I've got her treats in my left hand, and I'm going to keep my hand in heel position here for a couple reps, and then I'm starting to, with her, to add in a hand signal to turn to get her butt into the left. So we'll add that as we go along too, if all works out. Ready, Peachy? Good girl. So 13 of those steps, leaning with my left foot when she gets in with her butt kind of even a little over wrapped around me. I'm okay with that. Then I will click and feed. So just taking little tiny, not even quarter steps, kind of whatever that would be, an eighth step. I'm working up to taking a quarter step. She already knows this drill. Nice. So once your dog's this proficient where they are following your body as you work your way around the disc, you can add your verbal cue. Peach, ready? Get in. Saying it just before you step. Get in. Good girl. Get in. Nice dog. So that's kind of how I start that search. Then I'll show you my next piece. This is going to look a little different mechanic-wise because I'm holding the dowel with my left hand, so I'll be feeding her with my right, but making sure that I'm reaching all the way over to my left hip. So let me get myself situated here. Let's get it. Now, I have these clear dowels, but you can use a wood one as well. So when I start this with my dog, if my dog's a little sensitive, I would start with my dowel all the way out here, all the way back here, so that they can't really see it, and then slowly bring it down. She's done this already, so she's pretty used to it. So my dowel is going to live kind of right here. Peach, go this way. It's going to live kind of right here on her hip, so you see how that little bit of just, not even really a tap, just a little bit of pressure will move her. And it's more spatial pressure than physical pressure. So when I start this with her, my dowel is going to be back here, and I'm going to say the same exact thing, same exact process. Peach, ready? Here. Get in. And the dowel moves with me. Get in. Nice girl. So then of course I would do this until my dog's proficient and they understand this dowel work. And then I'm going to go to doing this on the flat with the dowel to help my dog get in. I'm still going to be working in a circle. When I start this, my circle might be a little bit bigger so I don't get quite as dizzy, but you can work on getting this pretty tight. The tighter your turns are, the more time you will save in rally search. Is the exact same thing. I'm going to pretend I've got my pivot disc here, but instead of actually having the pivot disc, I'm going to have my dog just moving on the flat with me. So it's the same thing. Ready? Get in. Nice girl. And my dowel is nice and straight, just right kind of at her back hip where her little hip crease is, or right at the tuck of her waist. And I'm still saying my word first and then moving. Peach, get in. Nice girl. Get in. And I'm taking about a quarter step at this point. Once I've done this a few times with my dog, I can start to work and ask for a little more, work around this invisible circle before they get their reward. So we just keep making the difficulty a little harder. Ready, Peachy? Get in. Good. Get in. Good. Get in. Good. Get in. Nice girl. Get closer. And then if she kind of scoots away on the flat, I'm okay with that for now because she's still working on this and perfecting it. But I would just help her and I'd pay her real close to me. So again, with this, her mechanics change a little bit, or at least mine do, because I have a hard time holding the dowel and feeding her. Some people can manage that somehow. You can also, if you're not really using a clicker, you can hold the dowel behind your back. For me, my shoulders don't really move that way too easily, so I hold it here and just feed across. Normally I'll tell you not to do that, but for this instance, with this skill, I do that. So that's how I go to the left and start transitioning my dowel. I also tend to use the dowel for teaching her to go around me, so I'll show you how I start that with the disc first. All right, come here, girlfriend. Good girl. So you can do this with your dog on your left, and then having them wrap around you, and you are kind of walking backwards around the disc, or you could switch sides and just teach them how to go the opposite direction by you being on the other side. So I'll show you what it looks like if I'm going backwards. Good girly. So in heel position, and I take a step back. Quick. Back. And with this one, when I start this with her, I'm moving with my right foot first to kind of swing her butt out, and then paying her a little bit more wrapped around me, because this eventually she's going to go around me. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here, nice girl. Nice girl. And again, we're doing the exact same thing as we were going left, other than I'm using different feet as my cue. So if I want her to go to the left with me, it's my left foot, right? And she moves towards me. If I want her to go away from me and go around, I'm going to use my right foot. Good girl. We just work our way back. Nice girl. Again, you can also do this with your dog on your right. Switch with things. And then I would be doing this. And for her, this is a little harder. I've been working on her with it, but this is a little bit harder for her. So I just help her by using the food lure and turning her head out so her butt got in this way. But for the sake of this, I would, for her, stick to going knee backwards. As long as I'm not going to trip her, I'm not worried about it. And just really focusing on my right foot is my get around me foot for this exercise. Then what I'm going to do, good girly, search, is add my dowel to this. Okay, you ready, Peachy? Get myself situated. So instead of having her dowel here, which is going to bring her butt in, I'm going to have it up here by her shoulder. So again, it's nice and straight. I can kind of shorten it up because I don't really need it all the way down there unless you got a really tall dog or a really short dog. Actually, if you have a tall dog, you can have it shorter. And what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to still have this here. Ready, Peach? Girl. And I'm going to take my right foot back. Dowel stays at her shoulder. Yes. Good girly. Here. Right foot. And then she moves her butt out. Good girl. Nice girl. So we do a few reps of that. Search. And then when we do this on flat, oh, sorry. First off, I'd add my word. I'll do that for this part. Come here. So for her, hers is around. So it's going to be around. Step. Nice. Around. Nice girl. Around. Good girl. So once she knows her word, then we're going to go to the flat. Search. Concept, like we did going to the left, but this time to the right. My dowel is up here by her shoulder, or even sometimes a little pressure on kind of their neck area, so that they learn to get around you. Yes, that's very distracting, those chickens. So for her, I would say around. So watch her again this way. Around. Nice. Go. Around. And this skill is for the dog turning around with you. So, for example, one of the signs is the handler turns left and the dog goes around and ends up back in heel position. Peachy. Right. Around. Like that. Another one is the handler turns to their, oh, I just turned my right. So the other one is the handler turns to their left and the dog goes around. Ready, Peachy? Around. No, I did my left first. Left and right, I'm still working on it. The dogs understand it better. So that's one. Another one is a double U-turn. So Peachy, ready? Around. Good. Around. Good. And you can use the dowel to kind of bring them in if you need a little help. Good girl. So those are all more advanced things that we've been working on. But this is my transition piece. You don't have to use it. You could use your hand if you've taught your dog to heel kind of with your hand here by their face. And also, like I said, once I transition away from the dowel, I'm going to be doing this for her get in, and this for her right, so she's got a visual signal as well, because sometimes she's having a hard time listening to me. She follows my body very well. Sometimes the words don't quite connect. You're a super good girl. So those are kind of my basic steps for teaching a get in on the pivot disc, and then transitioning to my dowel to teach her the same thing on the flat, and then my around, same concept, just going the different direction. So if you have any questions, let me know.